What's up, everyone? Welcome to another week of What You're Missing. I'm just going to run through the news this coming week on gameplay, just because there's a conference at the end of the week, which some of you may have heard of. It's called BlogHer. I will be attending. I made business cards, which I have somewhere. All right, well, they're here. Maybe I'll show them to you tomorrow. I obviously didn't think this through. It just occurred to me, and I was like, hey, I'll show them. It's too late. So, getting to the news. We've got, initially, I saw a report on the 2013 worldwide revenues for the top 10 MMOs that are out there. And the numbers may or may not surprise you. So, number one, obviously, is World of Warcraft, still holding strong and still holding a large percentage of the market share at 36%. Lineage 1 pulls in, actually, all right, so World of Warcraft pulls in just over $1 billion a year in annual revenue. That's great. It's even more impressive if you think about it from the fact that number 2 is Lineage 1, which is a game that's been out, I think, 16 years, and it's pulling in 253 million. That in and of itself is really impressive. If you notice that number 9 on the list is Lineage 2, so they came out with a sequel, and the sequel's on the top 10, but the original is 8 places higher or 7 places higher on the list. So that's pretty impressive. Terra Online is $236 million. Star Wars The Old Republic is at $165 million, which is really respectable considering it's 3 years old and it's a free-to-play model. So it's entirely off of, you know, non-voluntary subscriptions and item sales in the item shop and things like that. So really impressive stuff. Obviously, WildStar isn't on there because WildStar was not out in 2013. I only bring it up because I'm kind of obsessed with WildStar right now. But you know this. Next up on the list is a game, speaking of revenues, called, I'm sorry, I have to apologize in advance for this, but the game is called Kardashian Hollywood. And I can't say that without grinning like an idiot. So it's a mobile game, and it's a mobile role-playing game, but of course you play as Kim Kardashian. But this game is actually forecasted to make $200 million this year. Stop for a second and think about that. The game is set to make $200 million, and it's a mobile game about being Kim Kardashian. I think Kim herself is pulling in profit something like 85 million from it. So I don't know what to tell you. I guess, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. So the argument made in the article I was reading was that it's actually not a bad game. It wasn't saying it was great by any stretch of the imagination. It didn't do anything new or innovative or anything like that, but that it was a decent game as far as it goes, and that it delivers on, and this is from Polygon, it delivers on what they call wish fulfillment, which is kind of what RPGs do, right? So fantasy role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and things like that fulfill the wish of a fantasy environment and a fantasy life. And I see that the dog is having one of her evening psychotic episodes in the background. That's her there, licking her butt. So we're just going to cover that up and push on forward. All right, so Microsoft came out, and it was a big week for Microsoft. So they got a new CEO within the last year, and in his second company-wide email, he announced that there are going to be 18,000 layoffs, basically, that they're going to reduce the size of the company. Now, I want to say I looked at a number and that their original head count was somewhere in the 30,000s, but that doesn't seem right for such a large global company like that. But anyway, they recently bought Nokia, and so the cuts will most drastically affect the Nokia devices and services department, and of the 18,000, 12,500 will come from that group. Microsoft is also closing Xbox Entertainment Studios, which I may or may not have mentioned last week concerning their exclusive video content. So that's that whole thing where they were talking about TV at E3, not this year, but last year. about how, you know, they're going to have all of this exclusive content made specifically for Xbox Live and so on and so forth. Well, all of that is being canned. Well, not all of it, but the things that have already sort of made some progress, they're going to be finished, and that includes the Signal to Noise documentary and Halo Nightfall, the series that they were making for that. 75% of the full-time positions at Xbox EMEA, which is the Europe, Middle Eastern, and Asian Territory Xbox teams, those will be cut. 75%. Can you believe that? Now, I understand that Xbox doesn't sell remarkably well in Asia. I didn't realize that it was so poor that in the Middle East and Europe that it also, yeah, saw similar numbers there. The UK division is going to experience 10% cuts, not including contractors, but in general, all of the contractors will be let go as well, so who knows. So there are a lot of people who are going to be out of jobs and or shuffled to a different part of Microsoft. Here's hoping that all of those people land on their feet. I am looking for work right now. I know a lot of people who, like myself, struggle with that process, so good luck to all of you who find yourselves in the weeds right now or in the coming year, because that's the timeline that I think has been set to this. It's like 6 months to a year. So good luck to all of you, and here's hoping that you land on your feet soon. Next up, one of my favorites, Star Citizen, pushed past $48 million in their fundraising, and they set a $50 million stretch goal, which is likely to be met if history is any indicator. So, at $50 million, there are 3 main alien races in Star Citizen, and those 3 races will get their own realistic languages created for them. So they're going to be working with real life linguists and creating languages for the alien races there. So it's not just going to be jarbled noises that mean nothing. It'll be actual languages like Klingon. So I won't lie, I think that's pretty cool. I'm not the type of guy that's going to be so hardcore that I'm going to actually learn these alien races from a video game or from the lexicon of knowledge that goes along with this game. But I know that there will be people who do, and I would be lying if I didn't say that when I played EverQuest, I knew a fair amount of Dark Elven. I didn't know all of the grammar, and I couldn't talk at any length about it, but I played enough of the game in college that I was somewhat obsessed with Dark Elves, and I always greeted people in Dark Elven in the game, and my name meant various things when translated out of Dark Elven. And so I found myself, I was walking, I think I was a sophomore or a junior in college. I was walking down the hall to take a shower. So I had my little towel and whatever it was I wore to the shower, I don't remember. And I had my little bucket of things. And I passed someone in the hall, and without thinking about it, I said hello to them in Dark Elven. And thankfully it was quiet enough, and the person who I said it to didn't, I don't think, really process what I had said or even understand. Obviously they weren't like, hey, is that Dark Elven? No. I just was like, Vendui. And I went on, and then I thought, oh shit, I've outed myself. And nobody said anything, and there was no ridicule. So it was okay. But anyway, I digress. Star Citizen, they're getting 3 languages, so do with that what you will. It'll probably happen, I would guess, probably in 2 months that goal will be hit. That's my guess. Not August, but September. So if we're running a pool, put me down for September. I'm going to say mid-September. Next up, Dota 2, which is Defense of the Ancients. I think it's Defense of the Ancients. Obviously, it's not a game that I've played a great amount of. I actually have played it. It's sort of free to play, but anyway, it's a MOBA. I think it's what does that stand for? Massively online. I don't know. Anyway, very popular type of game. I think it is the most popular genre in the world right now, thanks to Dota 2 and League of Legends, specifically League of Legends. But anyway, Dota 2 had a championship this weekend. They managed to drum up through various sponsors and things, $10 million worth of prize money for the whole tournament, which was a huge deal. It ended up being shown, someone snapped a screenshot over at Kotaku of the front page of ESPN showing this. Now, granted, it was showing on like ESPN2 or one of their little, their daughter or son pages or channels. I obviously don't watch a lot of ESPN, but yeah, so it's showing up on ESPN's channels. They're putting it on their website. I've actually read that there are some universities that have professional video gaming, professional, in their athletics program now. I wouldn't go that far, but it's pretty exciting to see that people are really taking esports, which is the overall thing that this is being considered now, as a very real pursuit. So that's really great. Last up, Don't Starve multiplayer. There's a video that they released showing what that looks like and what you can do. Apparently you can, when you die, you can hang around and haunt your friends. You may also, if I saw the video correctly, you may also be able to come back to life by inhabiting a meat effigy that one of your party members creates. But also, as a ghost, it looks like you can torch pine cones that fall on the ground and overall be a nuisance. So you and I both know that that's something that I enjoy, being a nuisance, and I will take every opportunity to do that, given the given the opportunity. So I'm going to post a link to it down in the comments or in the little information section below, so you can click on it. Lucy's getting a drink, so I apologize for that. We're working in a really professional studio here, and I would be surprised if she doesn't come over to say hello for a moment. There she is, just checking stuff out. All right, so that's it for Don't Starve multiplayer. It actually looks like they may have four. They may allow 4 people to play at once. I'm not sure that it would allow local play, because that doesn't. I'm not sure how that would work, because people can sort of wander and do what they want. Anyway, so check out the video. It's pretty cool. Originally, I made the joke that Don't Starve multiplayer would be like the Donner Party edition, and that was a joke, and I thought it was pretty clever. Nobody seemed to like that, but after watching the video, there may be some truth to that. So go check it out, and that's all I've got for this week. So I hope your weekend was better than mine. My weekend pretty much sucked, but maybe this next week will be better. Blog Herd is on Thursday, Friday, and I believe Saturday, and I'm going to be there. I'll be swinging back to let the dogs out and to be a good pet owner partway through the day. But aside from that, if you're going, send me a message. You can comment, you can email, tweet, whatever. Let me know, and I'll meet up with you there. We can grab a drink. I'll introduce you to a friend of mine who I am making my buddy, because, you know, the buddy system, it's very important. Safety first. But yeah, so that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Share it on forums. Go to Reddit. Post a link. It's really fun. All right. You guys have a good week.